Okay, so I have a better in bed formula. If you don't have the fundamentals to being better in bed, you will never ever improve in your sex life. And the fundamentals, I think, are education, exploration, and communication. I'm Sarah, and I'm a sex educator and coach, and I also host a podcast called Better in Bed. I had a very bad sex education growing up. In fact, I describe my sex education as a fear-based reproduction education. And I wanted to do something different to change that, because I wanted to make sure people had tools to have the most satisfying sex life that they could have. Primarily, what I really want to do is create conversation around sex. That's why I started Better in Bed, was so that we could actually talk about all of the things that we don't talk about in sex, which is a lot. I mean, I think the internet has made things a lot better, so we're very lucky because we have access to so much more information than we ever did before. However, because our sex education is still appalling, I think you have the issue now where you can't really find the right information that you need, and then you have things like porn coming in, and that porn is entertainment, it's not education. So again, I feel like it's there and people are exposed to sex a lot more, but again, I don't really know if they really developed healthy or meaningful ways to think about it or to talk about it. I found that a lot of times with the women clients I work with, it tends to be with loss of desire. So because with women, we go through so many different stages in our lives where we, especially around parenting as well, pregnancy, parenting, and our bodies go through so much. So often that has a big impact on the sex life. And then there are also people who come to me because they want to learn how to be more orgasmic. Either they want to have their first orgasm, or they want to learn how to have an orgasm with their partners, or maybe they want to learn a new way to orgasm. With men, it tends to be a lot of sort of performance issues. I think men particularly are very, very caught up with this idea that they have to perform well, and they have certain ideas about how long they should last in the bedroom. I think body positivity is so important because you really need to feel good and confident about your body in order to feel sexy and sexually attractive. I feel like when we get too into our heads, it really disconnects us from the sexual experience, and we're not able to really enjoy ourselves and sort of let go. You know, the whole point of sex and great sex is almost like an act of surrender. I really think it's very important to focus on being in the moment and the sensations that your body is giving you in the moment. I think it's really important to know what you want first. So I work with a lot of clients, a lot of women actually, who often they don't really know their bodies that well, so they don't really know what they want. They can't really tell their partners and guide their partners to say, can you do this for me? Because I don't really know what feels good for myself. So it's really important to know what you want first. Secondly, I think it's important to make sex an ongoing conversation in your relationship. So many people talk about the hookup culture, and I think social media and dating apps have really made it very easy to hook up. Yet, if you look at all the statistics and you actually look at millennials are actually having less sex than all of the generations before them. I would just say that with dating apps, they've made it more easily accessible in terms of whatever you're looking for. If you're looking to hook up, I think it's much easier. If you're also looking for a longer term relationship, I think it is also easier to just meet somebody through a dating app. Okay, so I have a better in bed formula. If you don't have the fundamentals to being better in bed, you will never ever improve in your sex life. And the fundamentals, I think, are education, exploration, and communication. It's really important to find out all we can about sex and really get good information about sex. Second is exploration. Routine is really the death of a good sex life. So you should always really be trying to, step out of that comfort zone, try new things, explore new things. And that's really how you build the experience to get better in bed. And the last is communication. So we've talked a lot about that, but communication is just so important in order to have that connection that you really need.